For most of my life, I've had chronic migraines. And what that means is that you have 15 or more days of the month, you have a migraine. And I had a full-time job when I went straight out of college, and that's when my migraines became chronic. And it was really hard to juggle a full-time job, commuting, and being sick all the time. And luckily, I had an incredible neurologist at the time that was like, how about you start using these alternative tools like affirmations? And that was the first time I'd heard of them. So I would write my own statements and have them like taped to my wall and in my office, and I use them all the time. And I thought, why not make my own deck? So basically what I do is that I create products for self-care and self-love. So really easy tools to help you kind of cultivate a practice, a morning routine that's really empowering and grounding.
For people that might not know the power of affirmation cards or even just positive thought, what would you say to them? How has it helped you to have these alternative ideas, but also just to have something like that where you're able to affirm to yourself in these positive ways, almost like a mantra for the day or the weeks ahead?
It's very simple. What you say to yourself matters. Let's say, for example, if you have a whole lifetime of saying things like, I'm really bad with money, or I'm always late. So if you tell yourself that, your brain believes it and that's who you are. And so affirmations are just basically kind of changing your inner dialogue. And even though you might be repeating a statement that you don't feel captures your current reality, over time with repetition, your brain starts believing that's who it is because that's just who you're telling it is who you are.
How did the pandemic, really took off here in March in the tri-state area? Yeah. How did it affect you and your small business?
I saw a big surge in online sales. And that prompted me to start my own website. I decided to finally create a newsletter. I taught workshops through Zoom. I did virtual pop-ups on Instagram. So I really had to adapt. But it was challenging because I rely heavily on USPS. I had some lost packages that I had to replace for my customers. Tracking information was all over the place. So that was tricky. And I felt their frustration too, because I was also waiting on my planners and notepads to arrive for my printers, and I had lost packages. It was a little bit overwhelming, but overall, I think people were really looking to kind of change up their habits and set up new routines now that they were at home, and there was a good fit with my products and like those changes they wanted to make.
For folks that are looking to get into the self-care routine and maybe be a little bit more positive with affirmations and how they speak with themselves, what product on your website would you recommend as a great stocking stuffer for somebody who might be shopping right now?
My bestseller is my affirmation deck. So if you're just diving in, I have a deck of 30 cards with empowering statements, and I have them in English and in Spanish, and I also have them available for adults and kids. I think that we consume so much information, especially now that we're home. It's really easy to just grab your phone and be on your phone and on your electronic devices all day and connected to incoming information all the time. So I think the most important thing that you could do is taking a few minutes in the morning to just have a daily check-in with yourself.